Hello, Minecrafters. This is BBInME's, and welcome back to another fun-filled episode of my Let's Play series. We're here at the Quad Witch Farm, and you can see that I've done some work. I've started to put in the real perimeter, and so this circular barrier wall here is going to be the real perimeter of the Quad Witch hut. So somewhere around that, I guess it's that dirt hut there. Somewhere around that dirt hut that I'm pointing at is the center of my, or where I'm going to put the center of my four witch huts. And so I built this, I think it's 300 block radius circle around that, and that's going to be my perimeter. So I still only have, this one little area dug out. We will dig out some more soon, but I'm getting started on it. So today's episode, there's two things I want to work on. First, if we just get down here, let's see if I can get over here. I think in this, where did I put them? Oh, over here. In this chest over here. So this is the TNT I've saved up so far. I basically got 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and then another 14, 15 stacks of TNT. And I estimate that to do just the nether perimeter, we're going to need 200 stacks of TNT. Probably less than that, because the nether's not filled with blocks from ceiling to floor to ceiling, right? There's air gaps in the nether, so we won't need 200, but I want to just have enough to plan ahead. So we're certainly going to need more than we have. And so I'm thinking that, in the long run here, the witch hut, although it's getting me lots of redstone and glowstone, more than I need, it's really not getting me the gunpowder as fast as I need it to just blow out these perimeters with TNT. So my plan is to build a sky trap, so a mod trap really high in the sky, maybe over an ocean or something like that, and just build a really efficient one pretty high up there so that basically only mobs in the trap can spawn, and hopefully we can get a lot of creepers in that and get some TNT. So that's the plan. All right, so over here, what I want to do is I want to use light blue clay for that sky trap on the outside. And so I don't want to manually gather blue orchids anymore. So right here, I'm going to build a blue orchid farm. And I've got all my materials right here. And so I'm going to just grab these blocks here for the floor. And I'm going to lay down the floor, and I'm going to show you what this building looks like. I'll see you soon. Okay, I put in the floor and the walls. So basically what I got here is a 13 by 13 building, and I went up an extra 2 blocks and then put a roof, so it's 4 high, and we got a nice iron door here so it doesn't mess up our village over there. Make sure you don't use wooden door. And I've got a basement in here for the collection area. So let's get up here. All right. So we got a nice grassy dirt pad here. It's 9 by 8, 9 this way, 8 that way. You can do 9 by 9, but then it gets a little more complicated for doing the water. And this is what I'm going to use to, well, basically what's going to happen is we're going to have a dispenser under here. It's going to dispense bone meal into the center of this pad, and flowers are going to grow. And then we're going to use water dispensers back here to flush water down here. It'll flush across, and it will break all the flowers and seeds and whatnot, and they will go over here to the collectors, which will be some hoppers. So let me just fill up this bucket of water here. Oh, my inventory is full, of course. Of course. All right, so I'm going to put the buckets in here and I will see you in a second. Okay, awesome. Got the last bucket in there and we're all set for that part. All right, now we're going to need a dispenser in the middle here. I'm going to knock out, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 right here. 1, 2, 3, right around here or here. Let's go here. Okay, and I'm just going to drop some blocks down here so I can place the dispenser. All right, so right here, facing upwards is, give me those back. It's going to be my dispenser, and then we can put our grass block on there. Technically, we just put a dirt block. The grass will grow, of course. But there we go, we have our dispenser down there. And then we're going to need some hoppers to collect the flowers and whatnot that are produced. And so let's do that. I'm going to have them run to slightly off center here, I think, for now at least. So we'll have this hopper there, and we'll run these two into there, and then this side into that one, like so. That will collect all of the flowers that are pushed down here by the water. That's great. And then let's see here, we can put a block over here. And I'm going to put my switch to start and stop the machine over here, like so. There we go. And here, I think what we'll do is we'll have our access to get down. So we'll use just some ladders here, kind of low tech. We'll put that there like that. Always okay, of course. Give me that. All right. Okay, that looks good. I don't know how deep my basement's going to be here. We'll see when we start putting in the control mechanism, but there we go. That's the start. And one last thing is I don't want to have these hoppers kind of look ugly, so I'm going to cover these up with green carpet just to hide the hoppers. I think that looks a little nicer, fits in with the theme of the building. All right, so here's our on and off switch. So now we need to build the control mechanism for this whole system. And let me just grab one more thing. So one thing we need to do is we're going to have a switch for daylight. So if we turn this on and we wander off and nighttime comes along and this machine is still running on automatic, the water will eventually destroy all the grass at night. So I'm going to have this daylight sensor here as a way to make sure that the machine doesn't run at night. So if I leave it on, I wander off, this daylight sensor is going to automatically turn it off. All right, so there we go. We got our on-off button. We have this override for daylight. I'm going to put some windows in here and a roof and some glowstone for light, and I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. So we got some glass blocks in the ceiling. I used light blue. I think it looks nice. Kind of has a greenhouse effect. We got some glowstone for light, of course. Glass panes on the windows. Let's go outside here. Actually, we should be looking at this from the outside. Kind of looks nice. Yeah. I noticed that I have a problem here with somehow zombies are spawning, and then they walk over here to kind of get at those villagers. They can never get to them, but then they like lemmings, they get pushed off here, and kind of the zombie lemming drop. Kind of interesting. All right. So now we got to do the control mechanism. So this is a little complicated. We're going to do it in steps here. Let's start with some blocks. Ooh, that was weird. All right. So first, we're going to need to power the dispensers. So I'm gonna use, we need a half slab or something here. Right. Yeah, okay, I'll use something from below, probably a repeater. And we'll get the signal here, and then it's gonna come up here like this, and that's gonna power all the dispensers. So if we, I don't know if I have a button here. Let me grab a button just to show you how it works. Okay, I have my button here. So let's just show you how this works. So the signal will be coming up from our control mechanism below, but basically when we get a redstone signal, it fires all of the dispensers, and then on some delay, it will trigger again, which will turn off the water. When the water's on, it's going to push all the flowers and whatnot. Here we can go ahead and do that too, just to show you. So let's say we have something like this, like so. Yep. And then on some delay, it will turn off. All right. We might have to look about moving those carpets. Oh, that's disappointing. All right. Next step is to get the daylight sensor for our kind of override. So let me go to a creative server and I could show you how this works. Okay, this is basically the setup here. So if you imagine this redstone line is running down there and going up to our dispensers. And we can have, obviously, something like this. We'll even put a repeater here. So something like this where we turn on the switch and the signal's on, right? Very simple. Now, we want to be able to override so that this switch can't be on at night. So let's go ahead and set the time to night. All right, it's dark now. I can still obviously turn this on. So what we want is an override. What I'm thinking is if we put a sticky piston right here and with a block, and let's lower this down one here. I have this up a little too high. Okay, like so here, like this instead. All right, so the signal comes down. And yes, it can still go over to our repeater here, which eventually powers the system. But this has to be on, right? So right now, if I flick the switch, nothing happens, right? But if we go to day, there we go. Now we turn on the switch. I think we're going to need a repeater right here. But let's flick the switch, right? And we just put a repeater there. So there's our override. When it's night, it won't matter what the position of the switch is. And when it's day, you know, this switch turns on and off the system. Okay, now why is there the 3 here? Well, we want to take care of dusk too. So if we just set this back a little bit more, we're going to go to night, I think. Let's say 23,000, I think, will be where we want to be. There we go. So we have two right, and it just got enough signal to turn it on. So in that little bit between night and day, you know, the dawn, we don't want to turn on too early. If we had the piston over here, or even right under that, it would turn on a little early. So I just use 3 redstone dust just to wait till the signal's strong enough that it's really day. All right, so that's what we're going to build. Let's hop back to our other server. All right, so go back here. 3 redstone dust. We're going to have our sticky piston right here. And let's hop down there. Okay, so sticky piston right here. I think will be nice with a block on it. So then the signal goes to here. We're going to knock out that torch. That's there. Give me something to stand on. All right, so redstone dust up here and here. The block comes down. think that's the right position. Yes. And then we'll have to have a repeater right here to take the signal off of that. All right, perfect. And I think I'm going to go down here just to make this a little easier. Okay, move that torch over. Oops. All right, now we need to get the signal up here. So let's just fix that. Oh, I guess, do I still not have, okay, good. Oof. Thought I was stuck. All right, so we just need to power that block from below. Just move this torch over here for a sec. So we're going to need our signal coming in here, like so. Let me move this out. There we go. We'll fix that in a sec. So I'm going to need at least something like this. Repeater there. Perfect. And so like that. Okay. All right, that looks good. All right. So we need to get this signal over here, and we need to power that dispenser. Okay, so I want to have a 1-tick pulse, so we're going to add a monostable circuit here. Let's put our piston like so. We're going to have our repeater come off of it, and then some redstone dust. Signal comes in, boom, we get a 1-tick pulse coming out of it, and it goes up there. Awesome. Now, we also need to power this dispenser. So let's take our signal this way. And that should be good. Here, I need a little more redstone dust. Okay. All right. So signal comes down. We get a 1-tick pulse coming out of here. It goes up to fire the dispensers, and it also fires this dispenser, which does the bone meal. Now, we'll need a delay to turn off the dispenser. So we're going to knock out these 2 blocks here. All right. And get our repeater there. So we're going to have our delay signal come over here. Okay, we've got the line in for the delay. Now we need to wire up the actual delay itself. So what we need is the signal coming off of, let's say, here. And we'll come over here, and I'm going to use repeaters for the delay. We'll do 3 repeaters for the moment and see if this works at full delay. All right, so oops, signal there and there. And away it goes. All right, let's give that a test. There we go. That looks good. All right. I like the delay, but we need to put some bone meal in there so we can see that as well. Trigger it again. That looks good. All right. So yeah, we're gonna have to remove this carpet, which is disappointing. Let's trigger that again because the items are getting stuck on the edge of the carpet. And then again. Okay. So now we need a clock mechanism so that when this is on, this continues to run repeatedly. So we're going to run a signal over here, and we'll need an on-off switch for it. Let's take this out. So we need the signal to come off of this delay after this delay and come back into the system here. So let me get the materials for that, and I will see you in a moment. Okay, we'll take the signal off of here and we'll run it back in there. And I'm thinking that we need 6 repeaters on full delay. That should be 5, and one more right here. Make 6. Okay, something like that. Now, if we turn this on, it's just going to keep running forever and ever and ever. So we're going to need an off switch. So what I'm going to do is we're going to put one more repeater over here. We'll move one of our repeaters over here. And in here somewhere, we will have an off switch. I guess we can do it right here at the end. Let's do that. So we need a block here. We need our last sticky piston. Like so. Like that. And hopefully this might not work like this. We might have to move it over one. Let's see. Let's see if we can do it this way. Figures. All right. I think we can do it here. Just need that redstone going in the right direction. There we go. Okay. So when this is on, the clock part of the signal, the repeat part of the signal will come down here with the 6 repeater delay and trigger there, but only if that's on. If this switch is off up here, or the daylight sensor is off, this won't have a signal, and so it'll run once and be complete. All right, so let's give that a test. Let's see if this works. Okay, so it's daylight. This daylight sensor's on. I turn this on. We should be getting a signal. The lever was just not in the wrong state, and we're in the right state now. There we go. Okay, great. All right, I'm going to let this run for a little bit, and I'm going to put some blocks back here to hide some of this redstone, and we'll be back soon. Alrighty, we're back. And so if I can turn the system back on, it's daytime now. System should be working, and I added, obviously I filled up our dispenser there, and I added our chest for collection, and so I think we're all set. So the system should be fully operational now. So I'm going to change this to this side. There we go. All right, so as you can see, the water is triggering on a kind of a clock whenever this switch is on and the daylight sensor is on. And it'll push the flowers down and the seeds. It might not push them all the way the first time, but it will eventually get them here to the hoppers for collection. So yeah, there we go. I'm going to let this run for a little bit because we're going to need a bunch of these orchids for our next project. I will see you soon. Okay, I'm back. So I ran a couple errands and came back, and we're all full. So I think the system's working. There we go. A little orchid or flower farm. If you build in the swamp, you'll get an orchid farm like I did here, like I got. If you go and build it out somewhere in another biome, particularly a sunflower plains biome, I think you will you'll get other different flowers. So I just needed orchids at this time, so here we go. Okay, Minecrafters, that's our episode for today. This was the first step on our Skytrap mob farm that we're making. We've got to get all these blue orchids here to make some light blue dye so that I can make a lot of stained clay. This Skytrap's quite large and we're going to require a lot of resources. So this is part one, and I hope you enjoyed this little episode today. And if you did, hit that like button. If you really liked it, hit the subscribe button. And if you really liked it and you're one of these opinionated types, then leave a comment. That would be great. I love to see comments on my videos. And I look forward to hearing from you all. And I will see you soon on our next episode. Goodbye.